Project management certification can be a useful tool to advance your career, whether or not you're a formal project manager or even aspire to become one in the future. But it is not right for everyone. If you're considering it, this video will help you make an informed decision. Hi, I'm Chrissy Civic, professional development trainer and founder of EatYourCareer.com, helping you create a nourishing professional life. Back in December of 2020, I earned my PMP certification. If you're not familiar, PMP stands for Project Management Professional, and it's probably the most well-respected certification in the field of project management. It was a big commitment and something I didn't go into lightly. Some people find it surprising that I have my PMP since I'm not a formal project manager and I don't really want to become one. But I do train on the topic of project management, and I have for years. I also manage a lot of projects in my business and on behalf of my clients. In fact, on average, I manage about 50 projects a year. Like many of you watching this, I also managed projects in an unofficial capacity throughout my career as an administrative professional. So my decision to become PMP certified stemmed from a desire to do a few things. First, I wanted to develop my personal competence and verify the competence I had developed through experience. Second, I wanted to enhance my credibility and confidence as a trainer on this topic. And third, I wanted to demonstrate my commitment to the formal standards within the complicated and dynamic project management field. As you may know, I am a big advocate for professional certification. There is just something so powerful that happens when you have a few letters after your name. It immediately elevates how people perceive you, even if they have no idea what those letters actually mean. And it's always a good topic of conversation to explain what they mean. Since obtaining my PMP certification, I've had a lot of people, including many administrative professionals, ask me if they should consider it. My answer is always the same. It really depends. If you're planning on becoming a formal project manager or you hope to become one in the future, then yes, you should absolutely get certified. In most project management roles, the PMP is required or it's at least a preferred qualification. If you are not planning on becoming a formal project manager, it may still benefit you, but it's not as clear-cut. Here are some helpful things to know as you consider whether or not project management certification is right for you. Obtaining any professional certification is an investment of time and money. You don't want to just jump into it without knowing exactly what you hope to achieve. What will this certification give you that you don't already have? Is certification the best way to actually get those things, or are there other options that may be equally or more effective and less time-consuming and costly? The list of reasons I shared earlier are the same ones I came up with when I was considering certification. I'm happy to say that for me, all of these goals have been achieved with the PMP certification. It is not, however, a guarantee of anything. If you want to become certified because you think it'll get you a promotion or a raise, maybe it will help. But as we all know, nothing is certain in the workplace. It may be a useful tool in shaping your role to become more project focused, and it may be compelling evidence of your project management skill set, but you still have to use it intelligently. It can't do the work for you. There are actually two different certifications that may interest you. The PMP is the more popular of the two, but it's also more rigorous. It requires formal training, proven project management experience, and passing a really challenging exam. The CAPM, or Certified Associate of Project Management, is a less rigorous and less well-known, though still very respected certification. It's also offered through the Project Management Institute, but it requires fewer hours of training, no documented experience, and a smaller, perhaps less challenging exam. The specific requirements for each certification are always available on the PMI website, and they may change over time, so check in over there before you make any decisions. In general, I think the CAPM is a great first step. Should you decide after obtaining the CAPM that the PMP is of interest, you'll already be well on your way. The CAPM is particularly good for those who are not formal project managers and are not considering it as a career path. Obtaining either the CAPM or PMP is a serious time commitment. The PMP is significantly more. I spent 3 solid months preparing, even as an experienced project management trainer. About half that time was spent in rigorous study, meaning 10 or more hours a week of reading, watching video trainings, and creating or reviewing study materials like flashcards and concept sheets. By the way, I'd be happy to do another video on those kinds of study tools if you're interested. Just leave a comment below this video on YouTube to let me know. After I passed the exam, I honestly felt my study time was a little bit of overkill. But in hindsight, it's always easy to say that. If I hadn't studied that much, perhaps I wouldn't have been successful. We'll never know. The point is, don't jump into it without really considering the time required and making sure you're up for it. It's best to define a specific period of time, like 3 to 6 months, and clear your schedule as much as possible to focus on studying. If you try to space it out too much over too long a period, you run the risk of losing momentum. The closer your study sessions are to one another, the more likely you are to retain the material. If you decide to move forward with either the PMP or the CAPM, here are 2 quick tips to help support you in the process. First, track your project management experience. Even if you decide to go for the CAPM and not the PMP at this time, it's still smart to go ahead and start tracking your project management experience. While it's not required for the CAPM, you still may decide to pursue the PMP in the future. And if so, you'll be ahead of the game. Trying to go back and recreate your experience after the fact is a lot harder than just tracking as you go. Capture the project details, the dates, your role, and the number of hours you spent working on various components of the project. Secondly, find reputable training providers. When going for the PMP or CAPM, there are specific things you need to learn. Frankly, certification training is not the same as practical training. As I said earlier, I provide project management training, but my classes are practical. They are designed to help you manage projects in the real world. They are not necessarily designed to help you pass the exam. That being said, my programs certainly will give you a solid foundation on which to build. You learn the same language, the same concepts and processes, but it won't be presented with the same exam focus. If you're looking for training that will prepare you for the PMP or CAPM exam, you need specific exam-focused training. PMI has a number of providers they recommend, and I can recommend the 2 courses I completed when preparing. Yes, I did 2 different courses, which gave me double the required hours, but like I said, I probably over-prepared. The 2 providers I used were pmtraining.com and LinkedIn Learning. The LinkedIn course was equally useful and much less expensive. To be clear, I do not think that project management certification is a perfect fit for everyone. For many people, it's just unnecessary, and it won't pay off in any kind of tangible way. However, like most learning activities, it can be a personally rewarding experience for the right individual. If you're not sure whether project management certification is a fit for you, come to a practical training program first, like my Project Management Learning Lab, and see how you like it. If it's not a fit, you've still gained a ton of real-world strategies to improve your project work. And if you happen to discover that it's something you love, you'll be well positioned to move on to the next steps for certification if and when you're ready. If you enjoyed this video and you're watching on YouTube, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. For more career advice and professional development resources, visit me at eatyourcareer.com and be sure to sign up to be notified about my free professional development webinars and other training opportunities. Thanks for watching.